It's such good shit!
Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez here. We're back with another episode of the Diving Cutter podcast, and with me is...
Johnny Rodriguez.
And once again, hopping in to do the guest appearance, as always, as the God of Thunder, the Lord of Rock and Roll, SWF superstar Rikki Roxx in the house, ready to talk about AEW All Out 2021. Should be a blast. We got a couple other things to go over too, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun one. It's been too long since we got together.
Yeah, it's been a long one, man. I mean, that's what we do with these pay-per-views, that they're like so spread out, you know what I mean?
It's good in a way though too, because it helps them build stories, and you know, I've said I don't really keep up with WWE that much, but it seems like they're having another pay-per-view every like 3 weeks, and you know, sometimes it feels like less than that even, and it's like, oh man, it gets dizzy trying to keep up with everything. But well, I will say that AEW, I kind of like that they spread it out.
But also, they gotta do something, because I mean, right now the $50 doesn't hurt that bad because it is spread out. But they do start doing like once a month, once every 2 months. Then yeah, they better drop them $50. You know, drop it to a more reasonable price or something.
All I could say is that so far at each of the AEW events, you can buy your food and snacks.
Yeah, you guys recently attended.
Do you remember what happened with the WrestleMania?
Wait, what? Yeah. What do you mean WrestleMania? What?
Yeah, the WrestleMania they had, the recent one, there was a thing that I don't know what it was, but I guess their like the credit card reader was not working, and it was only like a credit card payment only. You can't pay with cash. Yeah. So a lot of people are left not able to order food or eat or drink or anything.
Oh, that fucking sucked.
That's horrible. You guys recently attended an AEW event, I believe.
Yep, the very first episode of AEW Rampage. It was pretty cool. We got to see, well, it was like, you know, because Rampage is just an hour show. So basically speaking, it was just a match of Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega. And yeah, as you predicted, because like the Impact belt was on the line. Like I knew, like since it wasn't the main belt, it was like the Impact belt. I knew the chances were higher that Cage was gonna win, so he won that. Then we got Fuego del Sol is his name, fighting against Miro, which was like a squash for Miro and everything. And then we've got Britt Baker going up against Red Velvet for the title. And it is a thing, too. I heard some people saying interesting things here and there, which is kind of confusing. Because, so we're in Britsburg, and everyone's like cheering the hell out of Britt Baker. And so she's naturally going to win. I felt so bad for Red Velvet because she was getting booed for like anything she was doing. She was getting booed because, you know, she's not the hometown hero or whatever the fuck. So Britt Baker, you know, wins the match. It's a decent match, you know, whatever. But then she starts doing the heel shit. She starts beating the crap out of her, even though the match officially ended and everything. And then, like, I don't know where Chris Statlander came in and started getting into Britt Baker's space. Now, of course, with us, we were all blinded by, you know, Britt Baker. We're in Pittsburgh. Even her parents were there, whatever. But other people were saying that it was kind of a confusing moment for other fans because it's like, what you're going to do? Because Chris Statlander is the face. She's beloved. But at the same time, like, you're not going to boo Britt Baker in her hometown. And then, of course, Jamie Hayter showed up and beat the crap out of Chris Statlander. And she's, like, I guess the new muscle now for Baker. But that was a confusing thing. Like she's the hero. We're all cheering, but she's doing all the heel shit anyway.
Yeah, she was very heel.
Sometimes you just get that. You know, a lot of it depends on the crowd.
But, you know, we got to see dark matches, 2 hours worth of dark matches. So, you know, the show's worth going to.
That was going to be my question, because I know some people were like, you know, if it's a 1 hour televised event, what do they do, like, surrounding that? They can't just sell people tickets for an hour show. There's got to be more going on than that.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was confused when I kept hearing, like, rumors about that. It's going to be a 1 hour show, 1 hour show. I'm saying, whoa, what the hell? What are we paying for then? You know what I mean?
I know.
You're saying they did do a bunch of other stuff.
All I could say is that when we were outside the line before you were able, you know, to get inside the Peterson Event Center, it was super hot. I don't think it was that super hot, but it was still like a dry heat outside. It was like, oh.
Yeah.
you know.
I was going to tell you something about
Glad when
that
I
too,
finally got
which
in.
was kind of weird, but I'll bring that up in a minute. But yeah, it was 2 hours of dark matches, but you know, dark matches are like, they're like super duper short. So for us, I mean, it was kind of cool, but it was kind of like here's our chance to see Nyla Rose perform live. Here's our chance to see Thunder Rosa there. What's his name? Ty Conti. Oh, dude. Ty Conti, and of course, we're going to mention here because we are not PC, nor do we claim to be PC, but Ty Conti came in jumping around and dancing to her own theme music, and let's just say she turned her back towards us most of the time, so I was like, wow, we got the best seats in the house.
No doubt on that one.
Oh, yeah. And, we also got to see, there was a match with Luchasaurus and them, Luchasaurus, you know, Jungle Boy and all them and stuff. But yeah, it was mostly just to say we got to see him perform live because the other matches are pretty short and everything and to the point, I guess. But
it was so very spectacular, though. I mean, especially for somebody like in my case, it's like the very first like AEW, you know, event. Like, at least you get like the feels, you get to experience, you know, seeing all these wrestlers, you know, fighting live, and yeah, like you said, the matches were kind of short, but it's like, damn, it's just the feeling of actually seeing like some of your favorite wrestlers fighting live, and you even see the, you know, familiar referees and all these people, you know, and then you see Chris Jericho as a commentator, you know, and it's just like, damn, it's just like it's an experience, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, it had this lady, I don't know her name, she was one of the people there, and in between each round, she would kind of hype people up, you know, like, hey, so who wants to see so-and-so wrestle next? And, you know, stuff like that to kind of kill the time and give people, you know, a chance to go backstage and get everyone ready for their next match and XYZ. So I guess that kind of helped, you know, pad the time. And another cool thing...
All I have to say is that the whole venue, like, when it's time to, you know, like to order food and all that shit, that place was so freaking packed. I think it was more packed than they expected because I was like I knew it was going to be packed because it's still like the AEW and all that kind of stuff. But damn, it was super packed.
Yeah, I know.
I was actually surprised.
I was so pissed off because we went to a place that only sold like beer and junk. So we went there first to get some beers. Then I went to the place to get some food, and the food was selling beer too, but like the exact same beer. So like, the fuck was the point of the other place then? What the fuck? Like, we could have just saved all that time.
It was so lame. Like,
how much would
like you only have?
I forgot. Some stupid price, like maybe $5 or $6.
They were probably
or
like
something.
$5 or something like that. Because you know how everything's always expensive.
Oh, you know how it is.
I forgot
It's like the ball game. They always cost more expensive at the ball game. It's kind of like that, you know? Like, you buy a $2 hot dog, but it costs you like fucking $7 at Wrigley Field or something. You know what I mean?
I can't believe this dude just said that a $5 beer is expensive because this asshole clearly was not at the Guns N' Roses show at MetLife a couple weeks ago.
Metal Lanes.
Yeah, technically, I mean, you know, it's a lot of us still just say the Metal
So
Lanes.
how much were the beers there?
It's weird. I don't know what it was about that place, but everything was $13.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
If you want a beer, it was $13. If you wanted the worst cheesesteak I ever had in my life was $13. I watched him cook it too, so I don't know how it could have been ice cold and whatever, but it was. The only thing I didn't like about that show was we missed Wolfgang Van Halen because the parking situation was a mess, but we eventually parked, and there was that, but that was partly on us because we didn't jump in right away. We had to, you know, get the car all foggy first, and then secondly, we get in there, we buy our shirts, we get in there, but then I did the same thing as you. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a beer before we go in there. So I get the beer, and the beer's $13. This is whatever. But then I'm hungry, and then I get in line for the food, and the food's selling beer as well. So it's like, God damn it.
Oh, that
sucks.
pissed
me off.
I should have done a lap first, but I was already dizzy before we walked in there. Like, literally, wow. I couldn't walk a straight line if you paid me. When we got out of that car, we're walking to the front gate, and I couldn't walk a straight line if you paid me. And that's before we even got in the goddamn place. So I'm not looking back. I'm not shocked that I didn't notice. I didn't notice the food situation. But yeah, if you're out there and you're saying a $5 beer is nuts, Geez, you clearly were not at that Guns N' Roses show, but that show was fantastic. They played for about a little less than 3 hours, which is pretty standard for Guns, and they did great. Hats off to them there. So we all got to do some fun stuff.
Yeah, how old are those guys nowadays?
Oh man, Axel is. I know they're up there now. They're 50s ish.
Wow.
It makes you feel old in a way because we're, none of us are spring chickens anymore either. I just looked it up. Axl Rose is 59 years old.
Holy but Jesus!
Oh my goodness.
59 years old. I mean,
God bless him.
To his credit, though, like he's out there. They did a 2 3/4 hour show at his age. He wasn't standing still the whole time. It was definitely something to see. I seen them back in 2006, and they were great when they had the other version, his version of Guns without Slash and all that. But we were front row for that one. This one we were way back in the deck, so it was visually not as outstanding, but you can still hear everything, and the screens were up, so that was good.
Yeah. Now, one thing I learned from the last time, this is why I didn't want to wait this time, is that the merch flies fast, and they got very basic merch. I mean, most of the time it's just AEW logo stuff and one or two of the wrestlers or whatever. But, I mean, the last time I gave them a pass because, hey, it was like the 3rd episode of Dynamite. The show's just starting up. They're not, like, clogging the website with merch at this point yet. They're still new. But, nah, this one was pretty much the same thing. It was mostly AEW logo stuff and I don't know, maybe, I think Orange Cassidy had a thing or two, but it was mostly AEW stuff. But we did make sure to get the AEW, Rampage with the back saying I was there and all that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you always want to get one of them real souvenirs.
Yeah.
I got me a Guns tour shirt with the dates on the back and all that.
Now, what bugged me was, and it was just me, my, I guess, OCD or whatever, because I collect these stupid shirts. They had a yellow AEW shirt because it was I guess the Pittsburgh colors or whatever. And it's I didn't get it because it was fucking expensive. I don't get it. The one that had a picture of all the wrestlers in front with I was there in the back that also says, Pearson's Event Center, all that shit, the date and all that crap. 2-sided shirt. That costs less than the yellow AEW shirt. And I'm kicking myself because I was like, whatever, I'll just get it at the website. It didn't click to me that it was yellow because it was Pittsburgh colors. So, yeah, it's a Pittsburgh exclusive shirt. I couldn't get it. And even though it's just a stupid yellow shirt with the AEW logo on it, it bugs me. I'm like, oh, I should have gotten that. But anyways, the merch flew fast. So that's why, yeah, you're right. So that's why we got our beers, got our snacks, got the merch, and go. Because by the time it was I think it was an intermission between Dark and Rampage to give you more time, I guess, get more food or whatever. Merch was gone, all gone. So I knew from the last time, and I was like, no, don't wait. Wherever we're gonna buy it now because yeah. Now the weirdest thing that was
my only little complaint said they do have to organize all that shit better because the food line, it's the line is just sloppy. It's plastered with people everywhere, basically.
Yeah, I know, but you expect that.
It was
But anyways, the weirdest thing, and it was unexplained, and I don't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't know, they were filming for a blog or something, but outside the event, a good hour before the show even started and anything, there were tons of kids or teenagers or whatever, all dressed up with the gray AEW shirts. Some of them had the Darby Allin face paint, not all of them did. But they were all skating all over the place, and there was some professional, I guess, photographer woman filming them all. But I never got the point of that. It never became a thing in the show, or it was never brought up, or I don't know what the deal was that. But that was kind of weird. It could have been a news
report. Sometimes news programs they do or entertainment show. Maybe they talk about, hey, in Pittsburgh, check out the event, whatever. The AEW Rampage and all that stuff. So maybe it could have just been a TV show they were airing,
I
some of that might show up someplace. You never know.
Yeah. And the last thing to mention... Or it might be
on social media as well, maybe Instagram.
Last thing to mention is they were giving away free of those gray AEW shirts for anyone that joined up to the AEW fleet and everything, which is kind of cool because they always update you on matches, events, and whatever, new toys and all that stuff. So, hey, Johnny got one. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Good for you, brother.
It was very nice, and actually, the funny thing is that shirt's actually like it was not even a size medium. I'm a small, so I got the shirt. The only shirt I had was a size large, but it still fits good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
I pretty much wear that shirt, whenever, I don't know, I want to be more relaxed, I guess.
Yeah, you can swim in it.
Oh, I'm not going to swim in that shirt.
No, I'm just saying that,
But,
like when you're...
a quick trip to the supermarket, I'll be wearing the AEW shirt.
No, but I'm just saying that when you're like a smaller guy wearing a shirt that's too big, it's like you're swimming in it. You know what I mean?
It's not that big of a shirt. It still fits. It still looks good on me.
Okay.
Now, if it was an XL, that would have been a different story.
It's funny when you mention the shirt giveaway thing. When I was a kid, it always used to crack me up. Like, whenever WWF would rotate the merchandise, and they would, like Hogan would get a new shirt or whatever, at the next TV taping, you could tell they were, like, trying to get rid of the surplus, because all of a sudden there'd be, like, 80 people in the front row wearing these, like, outdated shirts that they sold for like a month. They sold them for like a month in '85, and then all of a sudden, like at this random Pittsburgh TV taping or whatever for a Saturday afternoon show, you'd have 80 people decked out in like these weird, they almost look bootleg Hulk Hogan shirts, but like they were official, but they were ones that they were getting ready to phase out. They weren't selling them, so they would just huck them at the door for free. So like, yeah, you want to be on TV, wear this shirt. So that's pretty funny.
Oh man, yeah. That thing reminded me was one of the things that I always dreamed of, which of course we later got eventually, whatever. But back then, when the NWO was new and they were selling like I guess NWO shirts, like I didn't even know where they even, because I was like, I don't know, the internet was still in infancy back then. I don't know. Like, I don't know where we would have gotten the shirts, how to order them. We were in Mexico. It would be like a big hassle. It would be like extra expensive to like, actually pay for them and whatever. And a lot of stuff, some stuff you can only pay with a credit card. So we're fucked because we don't have an American credit card and stuff like that. So, I mean, whenever we got into WWE later on, the first thing we bought were NWO shirts. Once we got into like the site and all that junk. But back then, that was like an unattainable dream. Like, we wanted a fucking NWO shirt back then during the NWO era. But it was like, how do we get one of these fuckers,
I was going to say, until you reminded me that you were living in Mexico at that time.
Yeah.
It reminded me when that happened, it was weird because they were wearing them on TV before you could buy them. And I think that at least for a little while, you could probably only buy them at the event.
Yeah.
Because I would see people in the crowd had them. But believe it or not, the first place I actually saw them advertised for sale, and this must have been like an outreach from WCW through the aftermags, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated, because the NWO, the shirt started showing up in September of '96, and then in like the October issues and November issues of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, they would have these mail-away coupons for NWO shirts, hats, and the styrofoam title belts. So
I never even thought of that.
They weren't even advertising them for sale on TV yet. There was a brief period where I'm pretty sure you could only buy the NWO stuff at the events, or through Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And then in January of '97, I think, was when they first started running the commercials on TV where I actually did this. I called the number, I sent away for the catalog. They would send a whole catalog by that point of NWO merch. I was already on the WCW mailing list, but there was a separate one for the NWO because I guess they were keeping kayfabe.
Yeah.
And then by '99, they just had one catalog with everybody's stuff. But in '97, there was a WCW catalog and an NWO catalog. NWO catalog was only like 2 pages long because they only had a couple things.
Yeah.
You get like the white NWO shirt that nobody wanted, but you could get it. I had the denim jacket with the embroidered logo on the back. That thing was sweet. Oh yeah, that thing was like $100, but somebody fucking stole it. If I find out who, I'm gonna fucking end them. Because that was a great jacket.
Oh, man.
With the patch embroidered on the back and everything. I wish I still had that thing. I bet if I find one on eBay, it's probably like $600 because nobody bought one of them damn things back then.
Oh, man. Yeah, one of these days I gotta get around. I gotta get around to getting. I do want the Wolfpack one. I just have to get around to getting it one of these days.
Yeah, I got a Wolfpack shirt somewhere. I was
Yeah.
mad about him until Hogan joined, and I was like, okay.
Oh man.
Front runner. I just go where he goes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So now let's actually start. Well, we still got some news to cover before we start, and I guess
Yeah, some regrettable news.
yeah, I guess we wanted to start on a bit of a high note with all the happy stuff before we kind of go into I guess darker territory and regretful territory. But you can tell the news.
Yeah, so regrettably, late last night or early this morning, depending on how you want to look at it, apparently Daffney, former big name from WCW towards the end of their tenure, 2000, 2001, and she was in Ring of Honor, TNA Wrestling. She was in a lot of different places. And apparently late last night, early this morning, she put some disturbing Instagram posts up. And apparently she took her life sometime really early this morning. And very regrettable, upsetting, tragic news. A lot of people really upset. A lot of people taken by surprise. So people tried to reach out to her, and she apparently was no selling it. And so that's what I woke up to, and that was disturbing. As I mentioned before we started the podcast, I keep in touch with Crowbar because we're both from Jersey. We have a lot of same friends. We've been on a lot of same shows, and I knew him back when I was a fan. And I know they were very close friends. I know he's very upset. A lot of people were very upset. So yeah, I only got to meet her once at a convention right when she was in the middle of her TNA run, about around 2008 or 9. She was doing really well at that time. I got to meet her at a local convention. She was stunning, just completely jaw-dropping. One of those people who, when you see him in front of you, is like, it's even more amazing. And she was so sweet and down to earth and very kind of soft spoken, even compared to what you'd see with the gimmick. But yeah, that was so unfortunate. This literally just happened today, so obviously something it felt like needed to be brought up or discussed. How do you not talk about it?
Yeah.
So she was only, I believe, 46. So that's also not, I mean, it's always too soon, but yeah.
Oh man.
So
But yeah, that was shocking when you told me that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I know Mick Foley, I know WWE officially, I know a lot of places they made posts and have been saying, condolences and this and that, and it's a shock because everybody always says, "Oh man, nobody saw that coming," but this really seems like a case where nobody did see it coming because I saw a lot of her interactions with Crowbar, Chris Ford, on social media, and through that she always seemed like a really upbeat, happy person. I don't know if she had any issues, mental health issues or otherwise. I honestly don't know. I guess it wouldn't shock me, but yeah. So that's I'd advise anybody. It sounds trite, and we all say it. It's all anybody can say. But if anybody out there is going through anything, it doesn't hurt to reach out to somebody. I know it's tough. We all say that, right? And even on the Instagram video, apparently people were calling her and texting her, and she just shut her phone off, didn't want to deal with it. So I guess sometimes mentally we're not in the right place to even do that. But I mean, what else can you say? If you gotta talk to somebody, talk to somebody.
Yeah, don't try to take the burdens of life on your own. There's people out there that care and stuff. Like in her case, there are obviously a lot of people that wanted to help her and reach out to her. I guess at that part she was already too far gone. But just I guess what I can say is try not to let it get to that point. I guess try to talk to people, try to do something before you get to that point. Because obviously, when you get to that point, I guess it's really too late unless someone were to like bust into the place and grab her and stop her or something like at that point, like that, you know what I mean? So I guess
sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need somebody to do that before you can snap out of it. Because the thing that's mind blowing is I didn't see the videos, but people who have said that she's in the video and she's saying things like she feels so alone, and then literally her phone starts going off, so people are trying to reach out to her and she shuts the phone off. So it's like at some point, like you said, you've crossed the line mentally and you're into this state where it's like sometimes you have to be forced out of that. You're not going to pull yourself out of it, unfortunately, because it seems so contradictory. Like you're crying out about feeling so helplessly alone, and then so a person's reaction naturally to that would be, well, reach out to someone or let someone in when they're reaching out to you, but then you shut those people out.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't make sense on a rational level, but that's where some people need to be counseled and have go through treatment and find out things. That your mind can really play these games and these tricks on you when you're in that kind of a state, that kind of a place. It becomes sometimes you're not going to be able to pull yourself out of it, and apparently she couldn't. That's very upsetting because, again, everybody that I knew who knew her said she was always a really upbeat, happy person, but you never really know what somebody's dealing with. Like, that's the scariest part, is you just don't know.
Yeah, that's also scary. Like, the more we see news and see, there's so many people. Like, one of the things that a lot of people have in common is that they are like overly happy, joyful, and stuff, and then they were hiding these demons the whole time. Like, it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
look at Robin Williams, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes.
I mean, the thing is,
go ahead. Yeah, my advice is that people, if you even feel a bit like that, just try to get, possible professional help as soon, like ASAP.
The scary
before
thing
it
is,
escalates and it gets worse, and I don't know.
Sometimes I'm wondering, and I don't think we'll ever know, but I'm wondering if it was acute. Because, sometimes it really, if you're a person who's dealt with these kind of things, one of the scariest things is that you could almost trick yourself sometimes into thinking you're okay because you won't have an incident or whatever for weeks or months or sometimes even years, and it can get to a point where you feel like it's completely fixed or you're all better and you're never going to slip again, and that's dangerous thinking too, because then you let your guard down in those times, and then it's like in The Killing Joke where it only takes one bad day, right? And sometimes that's all it is, and then it all comes back again. And that's why that's the scary thing, is there's not always a trail of breadcrumbs, or sometimes there is and sometimes there's not, and sometimes it just depends on who you ask, because people can know different sides of a person, and with certain people it's like 50-50, where something like this happens and half the people that know them say, wow, what a shock, and then the other half of the people are like, wow, it took them that long. You know what I mean? So it's like it's scary because, for one thing, you never really know a person, and you never really know what they're dealing with. But beyond that, sometimes the person doesn't even really know what's going to happen the next time they have that bad day. And that can be really insidious, too. And it's heartbreaking when that kind of a thing happens. Like, it could be anything. It could be a loss of a pet or a family member or a job or the dissolution of a friendship or just somebody keyed your car. It could be anything. And all of a sudden you go from perfectly fine to perfectly not. And, it's like something I was thinking about, because I've had all day to think about this, and it's upsetting, and we'll move on from it in a second, but again, it bears mentioning because it is an important subject, and it's something a lot of people struggle with. Or, that's actually my point, is we say struggle. I said it before, too, on Facebook, but, I don't really know if struggle is apt for these kind of things when dealing with these kind of issues. I feel like fight is more apt in a sense because it is. It's like fighting a war within yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's like you're your worst enemy in many of these cases.
you know, I'm not really
That's
a huge
the scary part.
I'm not like a huge rap guy, but I'm a pretty big fan of Mad Child from Swollen Members, you might know.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of mental health and addiction issues and this and that, and he writes a lot of songs about it. There's this one called Demons where it's not really, as a song, it's not some of his best work, but it sticks with me because it's very open about his problems. And then the last line of the song is that demons never really leave, all you can do is fight back. And that's like just such a huge thing that I think we can close on that. That's something that people really need to take to heart, is that that's the reality of having mental illness or depression or whatever. Obviously, if somebody ends their life, whether they were diagnosed or not, obviously there was some kind of mental health issue there. And when you deal with that, it's not simply a struggle, it's a fight. And I don't so much think it's a fight you win as a fight you survive.
Yeah.
And I guess not everybody makes it. So that's about all I could say to cover that subject.
So it's really unfortunate what happened. It's... Oof.
But yeah, like we said, guys, if any of you out there are feeling thoughts and stuff of that nature, especially nowadays, a lot of people are, locked down or restricted and things like that, and you're alone with your thoughts. That's what sometimes happens too, I'm sure people that are cooped up a lot, they're kind of like alone with their thoughts. If it does get that far, try to seek help, try to talk to someone, try to talk to friends, family, just try to reach out to anyone.
Group,
something.
Yeah,
just do something before it gets to the point.
Inpatient programs, outpatient programs. There's places where you can go. Even there's sometimes if you don't have health insurance, they can finagle it so the state can pay. I mean, sometimes you got to take a little vacation and come back right. I mean, it's just the way things go, but it's out there.
Yeah.
And I would also like to add, as a society in general, that as people, we also have to do better, because these people can be telling you about their problems, and a lot of times people are on, it's not a big deal, it's like whatever. No, you should really be on their side and actually be in here and actually take note that this is something serious, that this is something they're actually struggling with, that their feelings and their emotions and the problems they're going through, it's totally valid. But it's not something that you could just brush it away, that, it's not a big deal, because I see that happens a lot, especially with a lot of, family members or friends or whatever. They just like to brush off certain things. And no, this is something that's serious. The person actually is struggling with this, and the reason why they're telling you this is because this is actually happening. It's not, they're not making stuff up.
Real quick, you really hit on a really big thing there, Johnny. A long time ago, I've been working since I was 17, and it would have been almost 20 years ago now. I showed up at work, and I was not having a good day. I was probably in the middle of a bad couple of days, because back then things were not always going well. And one of my buddies came up to say hello, and he was like, "Hey, man, what's going on with you?" And I was young and a little naive at that point, so I took him seriously when he said that. And I says, oh, man, it's like this. And I started going into some stuff I was dealing with or whatever, and then he's like, "Oh, whoa. He was older than me, so he's like, "I'm not saying this to be a dick or nothing. I'm just letting you know so you know. When people say, 'How you doing?' they don't actually care. They're just saying hello. They don't want your life story." And I was like, that threw me for a loop. I was like, wow. And I literally, in my younger, mouthier days, that annoyed me. So I looked at him and I was kind of like, "So what the fuck did you ask me for then? Just say hello. If you don't care, you don't care. Just keep walking." But I mean, You know what I mean? And it's like exactly what you said, if somebody is trying to open up and let you know they're going through some stuff, it's not wise to give them the old brush off or to react the way that person who, to their credit, they thought they were doing me a favor, smartening me up, But oh man, if I was a different kind of person or my head was wired differently, oh man, that might have led to something catastrophic if I was in a darker place that day when they said that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely, be more. It wouldn't hurt people to be a little more engaged when stuff like that comes up, and especially if somebody deliberately is telling you, "Oh, okay, so things aren't great right now." It doesn't cost any more to give them the time of day. You never know. You could be saving a life.
Yeah. Like you said, like, dude, like, if you don't care, don't say how you doing. Just say hi or something. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's. I think people get so wrapped up in their own thing, they don't necessarily even mean anything by it. It's just, I mean, some people are just assholes, but I don't think everybody is like that. I think in some cases it's just sort of oblivious. You get wrapped up in yourself, but we could stand to be a little bit more knowledgeable of what's going on with other people too.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, what can I say? Like, not to make light, of course, of all the subjects and everything. Obviously, like I said, just seek help if you feel yourself going into that dark place. And as we've learned from, if anything, I guess Daffney taught us, is that sometimes you are so deep in there that it's too late, I guess. Even if you are asking for help, you shut people off. So try to get some help and talk to people before you get to that point. Since I guess we've learned that, I guess you can get there. You know what I mean? So, honor her memory. We'll learn from her. And, wish the best of luck to her family and loved ones and Crowbar and anyone else that knows her. Because, that's got to hurt like hell, man. To lose one of your buddies, one of your people you've known and worked with and stuff. But yeah, so anyways, to get us back on track here and, not make it, lift our spirits up. We're respecting Miss Daffney
still
here.
Lots to look forward to in the coming days. We got some big things coming up, and that's really what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah. So for AEW All Out 2021, we're going to go into our predictions here and there, the best we possibly can. And also, it's so weird because the website is literally like blank. It's just, here's where you can buy your tickets, but it's completely blank. So we had to rely on Wikipedia for that. I only bring it up because it's the first time they've ever done that. Like, oh my god, their site's always been a little slow sometimes. Like, there's times where we have these, extra buy-in matches announced and they're nowhere on the website or whatever. But this is the first time, like, it's just completely blank. They might update it tomorrow or something, or Saturday, but it's still too late, man. You should have this stuff, like, dates in advance to build up anticipation, And minor
WCW level stuff right there.
Yeah, and minor news, which most of us here are thankful because one of the only, shall I say, legal ways to watch this show is to purchase it off of the Bleacher Report Live. Fight TV has it, but only we're not in America, which is kind of ironic. So I guess with a VPN or something, But with Bleacher Report Live, they recently, updated their website and abandoned the old style or something, and you had to sign up with them before a certain day. And if you sign in with your original email, they would go off your old email. They would bring back your older purchases. So if you want to rewatch the older pay-per-views you've seen before, all that data's there. It's not lost. But it was pretty concerning because we were getting closer and closer to the date, and there was no way to order the pay-per-views. I'm kind of like, what's going on here, guys? But they did announce that, they would have it up in time for this. And of course, now if you check out the site today, you can actually find it and purchase it and watch it and stuff. But it was getting kind of scary there a couple of moments ago. And I was also scared because I moved my data over, and I'm like, whoa, where's all my pay-per-views I paid for and all that? But it's all updated now. So if you guys haven't ordered it yet, which I guess by the time this thing is up online, but yeah, go get it, check it out, Bleacher Report Live. We always do our best to actually support these guys and everything, because it all helps. It all helps, man. I mean, you're hurting them. You know what I mean? Like one or two people doing it the dark way, I'll say it that way, won't hurt. But if enough people do, that does hurt. Let's keep this company up and running. Let's do the best we can to keep AEW going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they might have to scrounge up some money to pay a few more people soon. So any little bit we can throw them helps. They need some coin in the purse.
Yeah. We don't want to take food off Tony Khan's plate, right? Golden plate, probably.
Killing me.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're gonna start the best I can. First thing I do want to mention that I just found out last minute with the Wikipedia is that unfortunately one of the matches that was supposed to be, this is kind of disappoint Johnny, unfortunately, but one of the big matches was supposed to be Andrade El Idolo versus Pac. But unfortunately, we found out, well, actually just yesterday, September 1st, that Pac can't make it to the match because he's having travel issues. He's still stuck in whatever other country he's in. So they're going to have that match in the future episode of Rampage. So unfortunately, we won't have that match at the pay-per-view. So you'll have to wait.
Going to do it eventually. That's good.
Yeah, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer because Johnny's like a big El Idolo fan. He bought himself like a epic El Idolo shirt with him sitting on his throne and all that shit, for the event. So you have to wait a little bit longer, bro.
Oh, well, I guess, stuff happens.
Oh, although I do got to say, though, especially since you're into comics too, Mr. Roxx, I got to give kudos to them that his premiere match against a random jobber, so a couple of episodes ago in Dynamite, Andrade came in dressed up as full-on Black Mask.
Nice. That
with
is cool.
With the skeleton mask, but also like the black and white kind of like gangster tights that he wears.
Very cool.
And that was just way too on the nose. That dude, that's fucking Black Mask. Oh my! I had to Google it real quick. Oh shit, yeah, that's him. And I'm not talking about the stupid Suicide Squad version. I'm talking about like the legit comic book version, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will say with AEW, it's unfortunate they're not going to do the match, but good for them for immediately jumping on it and saying, no, we're going to do it on Rampage in the near future. So way to get out in front of it at least, because, when you have an announced match come out and then for any reason it doesn't happen, the fans' perspective is, well, are we going to get to see it at all? So good for them for saying, yeah, we'll give it to you soon, just not right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it won't be here at this pay-per-view.
Yeah, but it looks like, as usual, they still got plenty of other significant attractions, so we'll see.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is like I said, now you've been watching the shows and stuff, now you know like more of these guys, Johnny. But 10-man tag team match. So it's Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Weirder Utah, and Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Marco Stunt is still loitering because he needs a paycheck. Versus the HFO, which is Matt Hardy, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Queen, and THQ, Angelico and Jack Evans, because hey, they still work here. So, what do you think, guys? Who do you think's gonna win this one?
I'm going to go ahead and say I think Pocket's team is going to take it. It seems like they got a little bit more of a presence lately on TV. I've been seeing a lot going on with Jurassic Express. Like, they're all over it lately, and they seem really high on Jungle Boy right now, and I think that might even be a big part of it. I don't know. I don't see them laying down for this one. I think Hardy's team is going to take the fall on that one. I think Team Pockets is going to go over in the 10-man tag.
Yeah, me too. I think they're gonna win it, and most likely because there was like this tag team tournament thing where the winner of the tournament was going to face off against the Young Bucks and everything, and it turned out the last guys were Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express and Lucha Bros actually won. So I'm thinking that to kind of still leave them on a high note, you still got to keep these guys up there. You got to keep them winning. I think Jurassic Express with Pockets and all them are most likely going to win this one. I don't see them losing with Matt Hardy's group.
Yeah, I think Jungle Boy might even get the Duke because, like I said, they're just really high on him, it seems, lately. But for good reason, but I can't help but notice that they're really, really putting him front and center right now, so I wouldn't be shocked if he's a critical part of the finish.
Wow, what do I think of this match? Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to root for Jungle Boy.
And his team, because it's like a whole team.
And his team, the team with Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Yoda Utah, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I think they have a shot.
So I
think they're pumping up Jungle Boy a lot, so yeah.
So that's anonymous then.
And I think Matt Hardy is, I think he's pretty solidly right now in the mode of giving guys some shine and helping make him look good. I haven't seen him, go over too much lately, so that's another factor, which, it is what it is. It's interesting they turned him heel when he was kind of struggling as a babyface, so now he's got this completely different. It's weird how fast stuff changes, man, because 6 months ago, oh man, we were having totally different conversations about Matt Hardy and what his role would be compared to where he is right now. It's weird.
I know. And it's kind of cool though, because it's like he's kind of sort of like their manager too. So a lot of times he can just stand back and be out of harm's way while his big group of people fight for him, and then other times he actually gets in there too. So I mean that's a good way to keeping them alive and not taking too many crazy ass risks.
Well, it's longevity. I mean, he's got the kind of character. Well, like right now, he's doing the big money Matt character, which is hilarious. And that's the kind of character where he can transition out of having to do so much physical, but still be involved, which is always really important. I mean, that's when it comes to if you want to have longevity. I always pull it back and point at Piper. I always remind people about how he was retiring as early as 87. He hung in there until friggin' 2007 pretty much, or still showing up and doing stuff, but he had it covered from very early on. Piper, he was able to do the wrestling thing. He managed guys, he did the interviews, he did commentary, and you're seeing that with Jericho now too.
Yeah,
if you want to be in the business and stay in the business, you really ought to have a character that's got a dynamic to it that works outside the ring just as much as inside the ring, because your shelf life inside the ring is always going to be limited. But if you can play a character that fits into any of those specific roles, well, then not only are you going to have fewer health problems as you get older, but you're also going to stay relevant and have a lot more longevity in the business. So it's cool to see Matt in that role. At least he's not just straight up coming out laying down for guys. He's he's doing a lot of stuff, a lot of good character work, and so always entertaining to see. But it does seem like he's in put guys over mode right now. So I think I wouldn't even be shocked. I might even hedge my bets a little bit and say I think Jungle Boy might get the pin over Matt, but we'll see. I wouldn't put money on that part, but that'd be interesting. It wouldn't shock me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So right now, this is the toughest one to pick because there's so many factors, and there's at least one mysterious woman here. We got the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale, and whoever wins this one will get a potential AEW Women's World Championship match. And, of course, the way this works for people who haven't seen these matches before is where teams of, well, not really teams, so they fight each other, but they come out in fours representing, 4 of hearts, 4 of aces, 4 of spades, 4 of clubs, and then finally there's this mysterious Joker person that is sometimes someone hidden in the company, sometimes it's a brand new person that comes in, so we don't know. So far here, we've got Nyla Rose, we got Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, aka Hikaru Shira, Emi, yep, gotta bring that back. Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, or Cargill, don't know, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Kylan King, Rebel or Reba, Jamie Hayter, Anna J, Riho, and again a mysterious woman to be announced at the moment. So in my case, I'm gonna throw my hand in the ring first real quick and just say that, you know, unless it's the mysterious woman, whoever that might be, Tessa Blanchard, doubt it, but you know. I'm thinking here, I'm just going to go for Ty Conti. Let her win. Because Latinas do it better.
What's that?
Because Latinas do it better. Some of the stuff her merch says sometimes.
Ah, there you go. Well, I was going to ask, like, so are there any women of significance whose no competes are up? Or, like you said, I know Tessa Blanchard is forever rumored to be about to show up, but it seems like, you know, speculative conversation at best. I mean, who could that mystery person be? There's one mystery person in the women's battle royal, so I mean, if it would be somebody like I always say, they always seem like they have a mystery person in these things, and I always say, well, I got to have two picks because I got this pick, but if it's so and so, they're gonna win. Like, obviously, if that woman was Tessa, then Tessa would win, but we don't know. It makes it tough to predict.
The thing about Tessa is that all I see on her social media, she's in Mexico still, just chilling and having a blast. But she is training though. Last couple of months, she has been training and working out and doing all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I can't just. I mean, I guess it could also be just for her personal health and stuff. Her looks don't fade or whatever. But I mean, she's got to be prepping for something. So I don't know.
The reason why I wouldn't expect it to be her this weekend is simply because, as we've seen with other recent developments, that would take away from it. Keeping secrets.
Yeah.
So if she was on the way in, we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah. Now the other thing too is I don't know about because the thing is, Lana is going to probably join at any moment, but she's really not like a big... I mean, they might, maybe, but I mean, she doesn't really have the skill. Like, who cares? I mean...
if she was in it, she wouldn't be... I mean, I could see her being in it, but if she's in it, I don't think she's going to go over unless, like, they really want to make Miro happy. But, I could see her being in it, like, oh, hey, look, we got her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad pick for the mystery woman, but... I'm gonna go with my girl Jade on this one. I don't know. It could be anybody. That's the one thing. These casino battle royales are always nearly impossible to pick.
Yeah.
Because there's usually like at least 3 or 4 different people who you could say, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this makes sense. But Jade's been getting a huge push. Like last week, didn't she beat somebody in like 30 seconds or something?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Destroyed somebody, so she's getting a really big push. They seem really high on her right now, so Jade Cargill's my pick. And and if she's not busy later, she could maybe slide into my DMs and we'll see what happens.
Oh god.
They're open. Call me.
What do you think, Johnny?
This match. Wow, like where do I start? I don't know. I'm just hey, I'll just root for Thunder Rosa.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. We got that storyline where Thunder Rosa did beat Britt Baker in that unsanctioned match, so that could be what sparks up that story again.
Not a bad pick. Like I said, there's always so many people with these things where it's like, oh, this one would make sense. Oh, but so would this one.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, it could be any one of them. They're all like... Shit.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Kiera Hogan just joined out of nowhere. I haven't heard of too many big name women that got released recently or anything like that. Like for example, if they were stupid enough to release Alexa Bliss because, I mean, like her or hate her or say she's not skilled. I mean, she's money. She's big money for the company, you know. So if they were dumb enough to get rid of her, I mean, hey, maybe she would have shown up or something. But I haven't really heard of too many random releases or non-complete clauses or whatever to have. I mean, hey, maybe what's her name? Maybe Mercedes Martinez.
I'm almost positive she's under a no compete, but yeah, that wouldn't be, and I would root for her too, because again,
she got the skills.
Me and her go way back. I was on a bunch of shows with Mercedes back in the day, and so I'm always rooting for her. I was pissed when they fired her, man. I wasn't shocked, but I was pissed.
I mean, she was yet another example of WWE not knowing what to do with star talent.
I mean, they did get to her a little late, but I mean.
But they got her in that stupid ass.
They get there a little late on a lot of guys or people, but they still do right by them somehow. I mean, I don't know. They got the Samoa Joe late. They got the Bobby Roode late, but I don't know.
But there we go, guys. So we got Ty Conti my side, Thunder Rosa on Johnny's side, and Jade Cargill on Rikki Roxx's side. There we go. All three of them can sign into our DMs. They are currently open. So
there you go.
Just I don't know if Thunder Rosa goes into Johnny's DMs. He's gonna have to talk with Jack Knives about that one.
Jack's with us in spirit. He's not with us today, but he's missed. He adds a lot to these, and hopefully he'll be with us on the recap show.
Yeah, DJF also says hi and stuff. He says, he's better than everyone, and we know it. The only one who can't top is Rikki, because he's the one that actually, wrestles and stuff. So
Do my best.
Yeah.